What up, YouTube? It's Big Lou tapping in with What It Do with Big Lou. And I want to talk about Kyrie Irving and the shenanigans this guy's been pulling the last couple seasons. So he leaves. He decides to leave LeBron after they win the title over there in Cleveland. He's 16, right? Then he goes on his own. He goes to Boston. Then it didn't work out with them over there in Boston. They lose in the, I believe it was Eastern Conference Finals to Toronto, I believe it was. And then he goes and signs with Brooklyn. And then KD leaves the Warriors at the end of the 2019-2020 season. And then he goes and signs with them. I guess they're boys on the, off the court. So he goes and signs with them. These are two dominant forces in the NBA, right? Kevin Durant at the time, I believe, was the number one force in the NBA. The best player in the league, and that's my opinion. Even to this day, right now, in 2022, I believe he's number two. I believe he's right behind Giannis Antetokounmpo, however you say his last name. Only because the Greek Freak is a big-time rebounder, and that's what separates him and KD. KD's, now that he left the Warriors and he went to Brooklyn, he's more that slasher and that wing player, three-pointer pull-up, and he don't concentrate on defense like he did when he was in Golden State, in my opinion. And he was averaging a little bit more rebounds than Golden State. I want to say 8 or 9. And he was, especially in the playoffs, he was coming up big on rebounds. And once now he's like at 7 or something. But you got Giannis who's averaging like 12 boards a game. So that's what separates them two, if you ask me. And then LeBron is still playing very competitive in season 19, scoring 30 points a game. But the thing with that is that he had to, because AD only played half the season, and Russell was playing so terrible. Once he gets a good core of guys in there, so once they figure this all out, then I believe his points will drop down to 25 or so, and he'll be more of a facilitator and making some of the guys better around him. But back to Kyrie, this dude with his shenanigans, he lost out like $15 million because he didn't want to get vaccinated. In the state of New York at the time, you couldn't go to no sports events unless you're vaccinated. So we got that garbage, right? And then now, KD left the Warriors to go play with him. Now he's talking about he's got a wish list of 6 teams he wants to go to, or if the Nets can work it out. He's got a player option. He's making like 30. Oh man, I don't remember what they said. If it was 26 million, 32 million, 36 million, he's making a season right now. But he's got a player option to max out on a 4-year deal for like $40 million, $50 million a season or something like that. Now, who the hell would pay this dude that when he don't even put the team first? He puts himself first and all his bullshit. I heard him say that he learned from his lessons with LeBron and he left him. He was selfish and now he's different and this and that. I don't see no difference. I mean, he played 11 freaking games, 29 games last season for the Brooklyn Nets. 29 games, that's it. You know what I mean? You got Ben Simmons still that's going to come back from back surgery. You got KD. You got some youngsters over there. Plus, you got some older cats that are on the bench. I don't know if they're still there. Blake Griffin and LaMarcus Aldridge, who were all-stars at one point in their career. And I believe you still got DeAndre Jordan over there, too. No, I'm not on DeAndre Jordan, excuse me. Andre Drummond, I believe it is. So it's just this guy. I don't understand. Then they're talking about maybe sending him to the Lakers and Ben Simmons for AD and Russ Westbrook. Come on, really? They're gonna team West and KD back up, and Kyrie and LeBron's gonna team back up 7 years later, 6 years later, whatever it is. And then if Kyrie goes to the Lakers, he can only sign for like $6.3 million a season. He's making like 30 right now, 32 or something like that. Why would he do that? That makes no sense. So the only thing here is for him for his sake, is to stay there. For the Nets' sake, trade him off and get a bunch of draft picks and young players so they can possibly rebuild. But then KD's 34 years old. And where's that put him at? He's trying to win another chip, at least one more, to prove that he didn't need the Warriors to win. So, he's 34 years old. So what? They're going to trade away Kyrie Irving for some future draft picks and and some young players, and what it's going to take 2 or 3 years for them to develop at the minimum to possibly win a championships. KD don't got that time, So the whole thing. Kyrie again, like I said, he's selfish. It's all about him. He puts himself first. This whole mess with him doing this is like screwing KD over, because that's the whole reason he came there. I think it's 3 years in counting, and they haven't even been on that floor. Like, they hardly even, like I said, he was only on the floor last year, 29 games, and KD missed some games with injuries, so they haven't even played that much together. It's a jacked up situation. I don't understand some of these players. Only thing I can remember that was something remotely close to this was when Sprewell was offered a contract by Minnesota for like $5 million a season, or something like that, $4 million a season, and he was like, "Oh no, I need 7." It was a 3-year deal, and he wanted 21 mil, so that would have been 7 a season. This was already towards the end of his career, because he came out in '92. He already had played with the Warriors. He played with the Knicks. Went to the finals with the Knicks. Was on that Knicks team. Yeah, all that. And then he decided to turn down the offer, whatever they offered him. I don't remember exactly the numbers, but he wanted 7 mil. He said, "I have to feed my kids." That was the reason why he wasn't going to take the 4 mil deal, or whatever it was, 5 million deal for 3 seasons, 15 million or whatever it was. He said he turned it down, and guess what? He never played another game in the NBA. Now, Kyrie Irving's a different story there. He's still in his prime. He's 30 years old. He's a stud. The dude got handles. I mean, he got straight skills. But I don't see any of these teams putting up with the shenanigans this guy plays just to sign him and then owe him all this money and guaranteed money. There'd have to be a lot of incentives in there. And I don't see nobody signing him more than for a year or two, because all the bullshit he does. He's talked about retiring before, walking away from basketball. You know what I mean? He don't care about his teammates or his squad or his coaching staff or anybody else that had faith in him and believed in him. You know what I mean? So the best thing is for him is to stay with the Nets, get what he's getting paid now. Hopefully he can sign for on a 2-year deal extension with them for probably about what he's making now, or just a tad bit more, but not a max deal. He hasn't showed that he's worth signing something like that. And then, like I said, if they trade him off, they're going to have to trade him off for a lot of draft picks and future picks and a lot of young players now, which puts KD in a bad situation as far as him personally, because he's trying to win another chip. And, like I said, he's 34 years old. So you're talking 2-3 more years in the future. He'll be pushing closer to 40. Is he still going to be playing like he's playing now just because LeBron's doing it? Who knows? Then KD does get hurt a lot too. He misses a good little 10 games a season with injuries. He's already missed, I believe, I want to say 2 full seasons with injuries. 1 season with the T-Wolves and 1 season with the Nets after he got injured with the Warriors. The Achilles, it was a whole season he was off. So, leave comments what you guys think about this situation, or what you think the best option for Kyrie, or the best option for the New Jersey Nets is, and leave it in the comment section. And with that being said, this Big Lou gonna tap on out with What It Do with Big Lou. Out.